and welcome to Creating Top Producers, where I refuse to let you go unnoticed and your untapped potential in your business, in your career, as an entrepreneur, or as being a part of a team sits by and struggles. No one under my watch is going to waste tens of thousands of dollars and lots of time with little or no results because they lack leadership, vision, or the mindset needed to tap into their true potential. Nope, not going to happen. Not with me. You know what else is frustrating? Seeing so many people just give up because they don't realize how powerful their potential truly is. And guess what? It doesn't need to be that way. I get it. I've been there. I've watched people around me struggle. I've struggled myself at times. But the game changer, confidence. Confidence in your thinking. Confidence in knowing that you are meant to be successful. You see, what I do is help business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches develop that confidence they need. And it's time for us as a group here to dig into that. So let me start with my own personal story. I'm a former educator. At one point I thought, you know what? You can retire. But something was calling me. I wasn't ready to stop learning or to stop doing things because deep down, I knew I had so much more to give. Maybe not in where I was, but certainly in life. And about that same time was when my son manifested a full college scholarship. That shouldn't have happened. And that for me was a real turning point. You see, I'd studied what you call traditional personal development, where you set goals and sub goals and you figure out how you're going to get from one thing to another by hard work and determination. But then there was my son showing me a different way. Not that he didn't work hard or wasn't determined, but it wasn't supposed to happen. And yet here he manifested the scholarship. And when I saw him getting that scholarship, I didn't fully understand how it happened. That's when I discovered Bob Proctor, the laws of attraction, and the laws that guide our lives, whether we know about them or not. And that's when everything changed. Bob helped me to understand what so many people miss. Potential is already inside of you. You've already got it. It's not something you have to create. You just have to uncover it. Every time you have an idea in your mind of something you'd like to do, you have the potential inside of you already to do it, whether you believe it or not. You see, we don't understand whether we're a business owner or a professional or an entrepreneur or a child. We don't understand the power that we hold. And here's the worst part. It's rarely taught. We rarely teach people to think in this way. As a teacher, I saw this. My own children, my 3 children, set goals, maybe not on paper or explicitly, but they had them in their mind, and they would start dreaming big. And they believed in what was possible for them. And I feel like I instilled that in them with all the personal development work I had done. Certainly that investment in me had to go to my children also. But then I looked at the students I taught. You see, they had potential too, but they lacked the vision and goal setting that my kids had. Why? Because nobody was teaching them. And if they were, it was in passing. We were filling minds with knowledge, but we're ignoring the most important thing, who you are and what you're capable of becoming. Let me tell you why this happens. We are raised in environments where we're taught to focus on external measures of success, grades in school, performance in athletics, performance reviews at work, profits in our business. And from an early age, we're trained to look outside of us to validate and to get direction. And as a result, people are lost in what they should do rather than turning into who they should be and what they're capable of creating. Think about it. How often do we hear things like, that's too risky? Be realistic. Who do you think you are? Success only happens for certain people. Over time, those thoughts become deeply embedded into our minds. And because most of us were never taught to question any of those limiting beliefs, we end up playing small. And we don't realize that we've built a mental prison around ourselves. But the good news, you can break free. You can unlock the potential that's been buried inside of you in layers of doubt, fear, and conditioning. After working with Bob Proctor, I found myself increasingly frustrated in the traditional educational system. We just push students to go to college, to learn more facts, to memorize more. But what about teaching them about their potential? Where was the encouragement to dream big, to become the best that they can be? So I made a bold decision. I left my teaching job. I stepped into corporate training thinking, I can make a bigger impact here. And I started working with a company doing seminars for business owners, managers, supervisors, most of them one-day seminars. And the information was good. But you know what I quickly realized? A one-day seminar wasn't going to cut it. It wasn't enough to create the real transformation these people needed. Yeah, they might have learned a few new techniques and maybe a little bit of information, but they weren't being transformed. You know what was happening? Business owners were dealing with the same issues with their employees that teachers deal with in a classroom with their children. Nobody, whether at school or at work, was being taught how to develop thinking. And that's core to this problem. We focus on technical skills, on what we do, but we ignore what we think. That's why I do what I do now. It's why I'm here in this show. I'm determined to help you and the people you lead tap into the potential that's already inside of you and inside of them. You see, potential isn't something reserved for lucky few. It's not for people who just happen to be at the right connections and the right resources. Potential is inside everyone. You just got to know how to unlock it. Let me ask you something. How many times have you caught yourself thinking, I'm not sure I can do this? Or maybe, I don't know if I have what it takes. That's self-doubt. That's a lie. And it's holding you back. Here's the truth. Every time you doubt yourself, you're suppressing your potential. And the more you suppress it, you become more disconnected with who you are supposed to become and what you are truly capable of doing. But when you start to shift your mindset, where you embrace the power of vision, the power of belief, and the power of thinking, that's when everything starts to change. And you stop struggling. You stop feeling stuck. You start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, I think all the time. Yes, we all think what I'm going to call superficial thoughts, but we don't have deep thinking about who we are and what we want to do and what we're capable of becoming. So let me go on to some steps that you can take to start developing